I think it's a bonus to have the week off and rest the body up and just prepare for the match ahead. So obviously we want to utilise that week off. We still trained and done some work, but it was about more recovering and getting ready for a build up for 2 weeks.
We've spoken to Willie Peters about getting that balance right about recovery and also maintaining that sharpness. How do you find that balance personally?
I'm pretty cruisy, so I don't really, I don't mind just chilling and then when training, having to train. So personally, I find it not too bad having the week off and finding that balance. I think just not going out of the normal, what you usually do. So I think we've stuck to that and hopefully we're prepped right.
Is it a case of getting your body and your mind right?
Yeah, I think so. I think the challenges are just as physical as they are mental. So just to prep both mental and physically, I think personally I'm pretty prepared for the challenge ahead this week. So I'm looking forward to it.
You say you watched the rugby last weekend. What did you make of Warrington's game?
Yeah, it was intense. It was a couple of momentum shifts in the game and Warrington done well to come home in the end. I thought they didn't start really well and they started actually on fire. I scored first, but then after that, a bit of a momentum shift and they done well to come back and win. It's not hard to come from behind and defeat anyone, especially a St Helens team. So, yeah.
When you've been through a game like that as a player, how quickly can you recover from it and focus on what's ahead next?
Yeah, I think that they'll have no worries in that. I think once you've played that game and it's done, you want to look forward to the next week and they know the challenge that we're bringing and we know the challenge that they're bringing. So I think both teams have a tremendous respect for each other and I think, we'll both bring our best this weekend.
How different for you is a build-up to a game like this, you as a club and you personally?
No different. I don't think so. For me personally, I'm like I said, I'm pretty cruisy and pretty chilled, so it doesn't really bother me that it's a build up to this game. I think if we just prep the way we prep, obviously it is a big occasion, but just personally, I just like to go into every game the same, and I think all the other boys too.
I can almost imagine the answer to this next question from what you said about how laid back you are so far. But when you run out on Friday night in what I'm sure will be an incredible atmosphere, how do you manage to focus?
Yeah, well, I walk out, so when I go out, I think it's just practice over the years. Even just playing the game on the weekend. Like when I was a kid, I used to get that jittery feeling, but it's about just narrowing your focus about the first job. And I'll definitely probably have a bit of nerves in the stomach, but I think once that ball kicks off, I think it goes away once you get a touch and get an early involvement. So I think all the nerves will go away, and it's just about playing footy.
Of course, you've got that experience of playoff football from last year with Catalan Dragons. How much do you draw from that?
Yeah, it's a bit... Yeah, you want to draw from them games, but you also just want to just keep it as simple as possible. I think that being a part of that team last year and obviously being a bit younger compared to other players around me, and I think just the way they went about their business, nothing changed in their prep, nothing changed in the way they went about it pre-game. So I think just being able to nail that and then, my next job will just come naturally.
With a year on down the line then, are you now passing that kind of experience on to younger players in your squad?
Yeah, well, I think I'll just go about my business the way I do and they can follow. I'll speak and, I'll chat about little things, but everyone has their own different tendencies and the way they prepare for games. So I think just telling them not to go away from that.
Do you in turn then draw on experience from older players as well still?
Yeah, I speak to a lot of boys back home and I'm still close friends with, Mitchell Pearce, who's played in big games, and if I need to, I will reach out to him, but going off history, I don't really speak. I'll ask them questions. If there is a question about the game, I'll ask them, but never about anything too deep.
And of course, you've experienced the playoffs in the NRL as well as Super League. How does that differ?
I don't think there is a big difference really. Like they're both finals games, and like I said, the occasion is big, but it's just about me getting my focus right and then having to control that team on the weekend.
And how big a part do you feel that the fans can play with that home tie on Friday night?
Yeah, I think that's a big one. Obviously, we're going to have a sellout again, and they've been massive all year. So we do draw energy from them, and I know they'll be chanting and singing for the full 80 minutes, and I can't wait. I'm excited for that, for that run out, and to be able to experience that atmosphere at Craven Park for the prelim.
And with so much at stake, can you very much still focus on one game at a time?
Well, yeah, there's no game if we don't win. So we need to give it our all against Warrington, and whatever happens after that is what happens. But our focus is for Friday night.
Lovely. Thanks, Tyrone. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, that's Tyrone.
Hello.
First of all, I thought I'd ask about the big game experiences you were talking about, and how much do you think that's going to help you going into this one?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to, play finals every year I've played professionally. So, just like I said, it's not going away from anything that we've done the whole season, sticking to what works for us and our framework. And I think as a club, we've kind of got like a DNA about us now. I think teams know what we bring, and we're not going to change that. It's obvious it works for us, and we're just going to keep doing what we do.
And Old Trafford, the whole experience, the stadium itself, how much of a motivating factor is it to play there?
Yeah, we've got to win first, so it's all well and good to get your hopes up to play there, and it is a crazy atmosphere and a great stadium. But like I said, we have a match on Friday night to worry about, and if we win that, then we can focus on the grand final. But apart from that, Warrington are not going to just roll over for us and go, here you go. So we need to bring our A game, because they're definitely bringing theirs.
And in this semi-final, Tyrone, obviously a lot of importance will be on the mentality of the players, and you're known for being sort of calm yourself. So have you tried to be a calming influence on the other players? Is that the sort of effect you want to have on them when you're around the camp?
Yeah, well, I think I probably won't change too much. The boys kind of know what I'm like, so if they draw from that throughout the match, if something does happen that doesn't really go to plan, then obviously I'll speak up during the game. But yeah, if they just, like I said, do as they do, prepare as they prepare, because I think we've done well so far this season, especially the way we prepared. So I think if all the boys just do what they do normally throughout the week and treat it as that, and then obviously we understand the occasion of the match on the weekend, but just keep that in the back of your head that you don't do anything that you wouldn't normally do.
And Willie was speaking earlier about the importance of the spines of both teams and what the outcome's going to be. So is this a responsibility on a night like this that you're really relishing? Yeah,
I think so. It's exciting to be able to play in these games, finals type games, and the bigger games. And I think once you get down to the nitty gritty, it probably does come down to the connection that the spine members do have. And I think they've got an outstanding spine, and I think so do we. So it'll be a battle of 17 on 17, and I guess whoever's doing it the best will win.
And Sam Burgess made some interesting comments after they won their game against St Helens, saying that he thinks Rovers are the favourites. Can I just get your reaction to that, whether you think that's the case and whether it's something you welcome?
Yeah, well, if we're the favourites, we're the favourites. But if not, then I guess not. I guess that's the privilege of finishing in the top two. You get that title, and I guess it's just like no other game. I don't ever think about I'm the favourite here or what other people are saying. It's just I'm going to go out there and try and perform the best I can.
And just finally for me, Tyrone, there's a Coach of the Year shortlist being announced this afternoon. So I just wondered if you can give your thoughts on what Willie's done for the club this season and how much of an influence he's had on you. Yeah,
well, I think he's been a huge influence on me personally. He knows I'm a bit different, so he does give me a little bit, treat me a little bit different, but he does understand that when it comes down to the nitty gritty that I'll rip in. But I think what he's done for the club is huge. I think we're talking about signings and that. I think he's been probably the top signing for the club so far, and he's just installed that mentality throughout the playing group. And I think just he's put a lot of ownership on me and the spine, just to take over a little bit. And I think it's made me relish as a player, that responsibility and being able to take control of a team. And I think, just that trust he has in me, and I think other players, we really feel it, and he's just a bloke that you want to play for.
Thank you.
Hi, Tyrone. It's Gary. All right?
Hey, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. You mentioned before that you're pretty cruisy. And rugby league is a business that you can't escape and can sort of eat you up if you sort of really buy into it. How do you escape rugby league?
Me? I've recently, since I've been over here, I like to travel. Anytime I can, I get away. Usually I literally just, I just read and try and escape through that reality. It's all about perspective, and I try not to indulge my whole life into rugby league. I understand I am a rugby league player first and foremost, and that's my job. But when I'm away from it, I do like to get away, read, and go for walks and just be in nature and stuff.
What sort of stuff are you reading at the moment?
I'm reading Proverbs. It's just a little section in the Bible that I've just got.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Right, the book of Proverbs from the Bible.
Yeah.
And how important is that reading sort of keep you from sort of getting swept up in the whole rugby league sort of cyclone, for want of a better phrase?
I think it's just a good way to just get your imagination going. Just thinking about other things and other circumstances. But I do relate a lot of my reading back to rugby league, just strategy-wise, and how I can just come into how I carry myself throughout the day. So I think a lot of my reading is just based around life, but it does help with my rugby league as well.
Can I ask about the lad who plays alongside you in the house? Just how good has he been this year?
Yeah, he's been outstanding. Little Mikey. I think I've said it a few times. Last year I wanted to strangle him when we played him, and I think a lot of clubs do feel that way. But when you play alongside him, he's pretty electric, and he's just someone you want to just put your arm around and look after. But yeah, well, if he's not on the short list for Men of Steel, then I don't know what's going on. But yeah, obviously he's been a tremendous season. So hopefully he can get that award.
Now you're playing alongside him, you sort of understand him, so that's why I wanted to strangle him.
Yeah. Well, obviously, he does get under the skin of the opposition, and I think that's when he's at his best, when he's just flirting with that line. And he got under my skin last year. I wasn't happy about it, but we formed a good partnership this year, and since I walked through the doors, it's been nothing but welcoming. I think everyone here has, and that's why this place is a pleasure to be around.
Was it fairly apparent from early on that Mikey off the pitch is very different than Mikey on the pitch?
Yeah, I think you get that everywhere. A lot of players you see on the pitch where other opposition teams or crowds don't really like, and I played with Sam Tompkins, who every week would go somewhere and they'll have this same chant for him. I even started singing along sometimes, like mumbling the words. I knew it, but if you know Sam off the field, he's a champion bloke, one of the best of them. So I think that happens in rugby league a lot. When you cross that white line, you do want to turn into something different, and you are different because you change your mentality when you're out there on the pitch. But when you're off it, we're just like everyone else. We just love having fun and love having a laugh. So a lot of people don't understand that. They only see what you get on the field. But I think off the pitch, everyone's a good man.
Have you found yourself sort of singing along to some of the chants that opposition fans have about Mikey?
No, there haven't been too many. They do come out sometimes, but not too many. I do like the chants that they sing for us here. It's pretty crazy, the KR fans, and I hope to hear a few on Friday night.
That's brilliant, Tyrone. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Hi, Tyrone. You all right?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. One of the things I wanted to ask you about was in relation to Mikey. A lot of the tries you've scored this season have sort of been fifth tackle, and he's put up a bomb. You're the one who's gone and grabbed it. I think, in fact, the last game against Warrington, you might have beaten Dufty to one and scored. I know you've done it since against Lee. Is that, how much do you two work on that, or is it kind of just that you just naturally are very good in the air and he's just good at placing the kicks, or is it something you've put a lot of effort into?
No, I think it started in pre-season. I don't know, I was just doing it naturally at training, getting down there to try and make the tackle first and foremost, and then sometimes I could contest, and I think I've done it that many times in the preseason that it just became habit for me and Mikey, in games, and it just came like organically, really. So, it's a credit to the way we train. I think it just happened in preseason, and I just repeatedly keep doing the same thing at training, and then it happened in the game. So, yeah.
Yes, and I know you've done it quite a few times. Like, were you ever a winger or something in your younger days? Like, because you seem to just have such an aerial dominance. I don't understand where it comes from.
I played fullback a lot in my juniors. I played a bit everywhere, but I really wanted to play fullback at one stage in my career, and so that probably comes from that. I played a bit of centre, a bit of wing, but yeah, mostly fullback.
And just come back to your time in the NRL. Obviously, Penrith have made the final. Have you spoke to any of those guys this week ahead of this in terms of sort of sharing experience? You're ahead of a big game, and they're ahead of a big game as well.
No, not about experiencing the big games. I think it was just I congratulated a few of them who I still speak to personally, and I'm just happy for the way they're going. They've been the dominant club. Obviously, they've won the last 3 and going for 4. Been in the last 5 grand finals, and it's a credit to all them boys. They've all come through together, and I kind of know the feeling of being in there within the group, and I think it's a great achievement. But they'll be looking to win that game on the weekend, and I'll be cheering them on.